Hello everyone, and welcome to our little call today. We're putting together a detailed resonance scan. So Thomas here, who's been using the device for more than a few months now, is going to take us through when we have a new client or if we're doing a distance scan, what we need to do in the steps. And we'll be looking at the aura scan and also the resonance scan. So here is Thomas to take us away.
Hello, everyone. Super happy to share this with you. So we're going to start by opening the app. So this video doesn't cover the first connection to the resonance or the Healy Advisor analysis app. But basically, the first time you connect, you put your email, your password for Healy, and then it will create a master key, then you enter. So let me share my screen. And normally you'll be able to see what's going on my Healy app. All right, so it will take some time to connect. That's normal because there's a lot of updates happening on the app. And the first step that we're going to be looking at will be to create a profile. So first, let's see the layout of the app. You have three menus on the bottom part. The little house shows you your clients and the list of the previous scans. So you can always come back here to find it. The middle button shows you the options, what you can do with the module called Healy Resonance. You can do a resonance analysis and an aura analysis. And the last button here is the settings. For example, if you want to change accounts because you're connecting with another Healy. So the first step will be to create the client profile for whoever you're going to scan. It can be yourself, it can be someone else. To go faster on this call, I already created the profile for the beautiful JJ that is with us on this call. Of course, we don't scan people without telling them. That's part of the game. We need to have their consent. So here, we're going to already have a certain information. If the person is in front of you, then you just need to put the picture, the name, so you remember who it is, and the male or female. And to finish it off, you will have them hold the Healy in their hand, and you will press a record vibration. What will happen is that it will identify them in the quantum field, in the infinite field, as per who they are. If the person is not in front of you and you're doing a distance scanning or remote healing, then you will not press record vibration and you will do like I did right here. Picture, first name, last name, date of birth, place of birth, and male, female. It works on the principle of radionics. It will identify in the infinite field the person. Of course, it's a bit better to have the possibility to record the vibration, but it works very well without. And then you will press the little tick button on the top right, which will confirm the profile. All right, so now we have...
Excuse me,
yes.
The date of birth is 0803.
3rd of August.
Okay. Huh? Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's French.
My phone is in French, yeah, no worries.
Okay.
So it's very important when we do the remote version to have the right date of birth. So thank you for jumping. Okay, so now I have the profile ready. So what am I gonna do? I have two options. I can do a resonance analysis or an aura analysis. We're going to start with the resonance analysis. A resonance analysis, before we jump into it, is going to check, to scan the resonance, meaning the compatibility between a person and a set of data, database. For example, I have the Healy resonance and I have a lot of programs. I don't know which one I'm going to use now because maybe I'm having trouble identifying the source of my discomfort, or maybe I'm feeling pretty good and I want to use it in a preventative way. So I'm going into the database here the beginning part is not Healy programs. It's other databases that you can scan yourself for. For example, knowing which back flower you would benefit the most from. In amino acid and materia medica, there's some nutrients and some chemical substances you might be missing in your body. For the purpose of this presentation, we will go directly in the Healy programs. Here you can see all the page, including specific frequency program. There is a lot. We suggest to start with all Healy programs at the bottom. Now, what's going to happen now is that the technology in the Healy, which is a quantum sensor, is going to go through the quantum field to check the level of resonance between JJ and all the Healy program pages, like fitness, job, and so on. We're going to start the analysis. And here you see a fingerprint. It's not taking your fingerprint when you press. It's simply so that the person holds their intention while the scan happens, because it works through the quantum field. So you don't want your mind or your body to be doing something else. So when we are remote, like right now, I'm going to ask JJ to simply focus on her intention for the next 5-10 seconds. The intention being, what do I have the greatest resonance with now? Or very similar, what is best for me now? So 1, 2, 3. So I am pressing and she's focusing. Now it's complete. It's going to display the results. Great. So you're seeing different results here in the white parts, and you're seeing a percentage. The desired state here will be the page, the program page on which there is the most resonance at this moment. So for now, we have some programs in the Healy mental balance at 59% and the sleep program at 53%. And then under 50%, we have the gold cycle and the pain. This percentage is showing the, let's say, the level of need, the level of compatibility that JJ has with the frequencies that are in that page. So in order to interpret this number, I will give you what I'm using. Below 50% is not very significant, meaning if everything is under 50%, we are really working in a preventative mode. Between 50% and 60%, we're starting to be in an area where the being of the person would greatly benefit from these frequencies. Between 60 and 70 or 80, which is 80% is the highest I've ever seen, the body really needs the frequencies. And maybe there is even a physical discomfort or disease. The highest I've seen if someone was completely sick with a fever and it got immune system at 80%. So that's the scale that I'm using. It's up to the discretion of the practitioner. So the next step is, great, I don't know which program in mental balance to use because there is a certain number. So I'm going to go back again. I press on the middle button there and do another resonance on JJ again. And this time I'm going to select the first, second, and or third program to see the level of detail inside, to know what frequency program to put. So here we're going to select mental balance because that was the highest resonance. And we're going to go again. So JJ is going to focus on, in that program, what is the best for me now? Inner strength systemic. And she's smiling, yeah. So that means it probably resonates to some degree. So yes. Here we're seeing one at 47% and the next one at 33%. It means that within this mental balance page, the one she really needs is inner strength systemic. Systemics just means that it's a full body program. So you put the wristbands or the electrodes on the wrists. So we were guided by a sequence of 2 scans to identify which package of frequency JJ needs the most in this moment. And it is the inner strength systemic. So what we can do here is to change apps. I'm not going to do it because it will disconnect my Healy. We change apps and we go into the Healy microcurrent frequency app. I go into mental balance and I select inner strength systemic. It will transfer the frequencies in the Healy and then I will receive them with the electrical microcurrents. So we will have used the resonance to identify which program to use, and then we're going to use the other app to send the frequencies. If the person is not in front of us and she cannot receive the microcurrents, or she doesn't have a Healy herself, there is something else we can do. It's called vibrate. So I press on action here. I can print a PDF and send it to her. We will do that when we do the chakra scan. That's a function so that the person gets their information because it's theirs. And then we have the option vibrate. Vibrate is going to, and I'm going to explain how, is going to send frequencies in a certain way to JJ, even if she's on the other side of the planet, to help her with what she needs from the mental balance program. So for example, for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to put 2 minutes, 49 seconds, and I'm going to start. So JJ, simply put your intention to being open to receive these frequencies. And I start. Okay, so what is going on right now? What is going on is that the Healy here that I have, and I'm in Sweden and JJ is in Bali, it's connected to the information field of JJ. And that is another dimensional level. It's called the Akasha in the traditions of the East. It's beyond time and space. So what the Healy is doing is connecting to the information of JJ right now, her physical health, her mental health, her emotional health, the different blockages, how she's feeling today, and so on. Just the database of the information of her being. And it's providing frequencies in an etheric way, so directly through the quantum field, of what is inside each of the programs that you see on the screen. So for example, right now it's sending some frequencies from the program Emotional Wellbeing, now from the Feel Good Systemic, and now from the Contentment Systemic. So what is happening right now is that we are having frequencies sent into the energy field of JJ through the quantum field, meaning it's information that is being sent through the information field. You will see again when we explain it, when we do the aura analysis and the chakras. So I'm going to stop it now. And what we have is a way to provide a support, distance support to somebody who needs it. I advise to use the vibrate mode for more etheric matters like emotional well-being and mental well-being. For physical problems, it would be better, if possible, to send the electrical currents in the physical body. Great. So we're done with the resonance now analysis. Let's move forward. Oh, last thing. How do we know how long we vibrate? There's guidance from Time Waver that is saying that for a chronic issue, so something that we're having trouble for some time, for example, for JJ, that was inner strength. So if she's like feeling weak in her self-esteem or in her being today, we ask her, JJ, is it something that is like, yeah, confidence? Is it something that is just these past few days or is it long running?
Yeah, it's long running.
All right, so if it's long running, what we're going to do is send 2 minutes 49 seconds 3 times per day. If it's something that is more acute, for example, it's just this last few days, we're going to send 37 seconds 6 times per day. But if we're having a client and we're receiving them for the first time and they want to try the Healy, what we can do is one long session where we send the frequencies for 25 minutes or 1 hour. All right, now we're going to move to the second step, second step. So maybe my Healy disconnected. In that case, I will close the app and reconnect again. So we're going to go into the aura analysis. Aura analysis, I'm selecting JJ. It's going to record her aura. Here, I'm going to ask her to stabilize herself, as if nothing is moving inside her. Her energy, her being, she's just going to be on freeze mode for a few seconds so that it can scan in a stable way. Amazing. We have a picture that is quite useless here, but I'm going to press on analysis and I'm going to get a bar diagram. So what we have here is the 7 main chakras of the Indian traditions and the total, which is, let's say, the global state of energy distribution on the left-hand side. So this is first to understand, this is an instant picture. So it's right now, what is the distribution of energy in the 7 main centers? It's not representative of the inner work you've been doing these past 5 years. So it's very important to understand that. It's just an instant picture, where is the energy distributed? So what we're looking for, of course, is harmony, meaning the levels are all quite equal. And second, level of energy, so that this level is as high as possible. So here what we have on the reading is really good levels everywhere and a little bit lower on the roots and the forehead. So what we would, of course, ask is if JJ has an experience with understanding the chakra system, to see if that resonates for her, if she's feeling not so grounded right now, and if she's feeling like her third eye, so the forehead chakra, which is linked to perception and using the mind, is somehow impeached.
Yeah, I've been experiencing a headache for the last couple hours. So
amazing. So that's usually very important for people who are well educated in the chakra system and spirituality. If you're just scanning somebody who is not, then you will do the interpretation for them. If I click on interpretation here in the middle, it's going to give me a generic explanation of the chakras. It's a very good one, but it's not specialized for the person. It's not personalized. It's just a dictionary of what are the chakras. The next step here is that we're going to select with our finger by clicking in and out of the little bubbles, the chakras that I will want to have more information on. The guidance here is, right now, I am being guided to investigate in the roots and in the forehead because it looks like their level of energy is lower. So the higher intelligence of JJ wants to point her towards those 2 chakras. So JJ, do you want to go further and go into the readings of these chakras?
yes, please.
Great. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the analysis. It's going to bring me on another page. And here you can see the focus, which is the intention, the analysis options, which is the chakras that we selected, and then the high negative relevancy. So before we go further, we have to understand here that we're working in the quantum field. So the intention, hoopla, disconnected, I'm going to come back. And doing another resonance for another aura scan for JJ. Going to select the same chakras. So we see they moved, and that's perfect. I'm going to explain to you what it means. But first, let's continue what I was saying on the page here. So we have the focus. The focus is the intention. The intention, you can write it down, so I can edit this. For example, I receive useful insights for my forehead and root chakra. But what is important is not to write it down. What is important is that the person scanned is focusing on this intention when I'm going to press start analysis. So JJ, I kind of put the intention for you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you don't have to edit it. You just have to make sure the person is focused on this. Why does it matter that we can change the intention here? But simply because, for example, the intention of I'm having a headache, my forehead chakra is low, so I can ask, what is the emotional or mental reasons why I have a headache? And that's a different intention that I receive useful insights for my forehead chakra. One is more directed to a specific aim, one is more feminine, more general. As you change your intention, the result will change. So here, that's why it's important, and that's why we have this flexibility. Then we have the high negative relevancy. This I always propose to include it. What it's going to do is that it's going to include some readings that have a minus in front of the percentage of compatibility. What that means is that the person might not be aware of this energy, of this reading. So it's basically including potential unconscious energies. All right, before I click, we're going to address a very important topic. Why, when I scan her right after, it changed the levels of the aura? And many people ask that. Very easy. As you can see, the intention of the reason why you're scanning your aura is influencing the distribution of energy. So we scan her, she saw the results. Already in the quantum field, something has shifted in her being because she saw what is the level of her forehead and her root compared to the other ones. And automatically, her energy field, her being is going to start compensating for that. Also, when I first scanned her, she was focused on a certain intention. And when we second scan her, it changed a little bit. So it will influence the results. So it's perfectly normal. What I recommend, because it's extremely sensitive and tuning in to the instant intention that you have, is only scan yourself once, focus on exactly what you want at that moment, and just work with that result. Okay, let's proceed forward. So JJ, focus on this intention right now. I receive useful insights for my forehead and root chakra. And now I'm going to press start analysis. What it's doing now is that it's doing a resonance analysis, so a comparison of vibrational compatibility between the chakras of JJ and all the database for each chakra. So here we have the first insight, the first reading. First line, it's telling you in which chakra we're working. So here we're working in the third eye, Ajna. Then we have some text. First line, present state, is going to give you the vibrational spectrum or kind of the color of this energy within her chakra. Second is going to give you the description to approximate this energy. And the third, desired state and desired state description, they are generic. We're not going to read them now. It's for the vibration, for the healing part. So what we're looking at that is interesting is the first two lines, present state and present state description. And then we have three parameters on the top left that we're going to explain after. Firstly, I don't even need to read the description. If the state, present state, which is the color, is not containing the indigo color, already I know it's not an energy that is coherent, that is aligned with the vibrational spectrum of that chakra, meaning it's going to approximate a limitation or a blockage. If it was an indigo present state in the indigo chakra, the message would be positive. Okay, so it's red-orange. What does that tell me? It tells me that this energy in my third eye is tainted with the colors of the first chakra, red, and the second chakra, orange. So it has to do with the topics of the first and the second chakra. Then we read the sentence. Yin-yang consciousness, the woman minimizes herself down to her physical needs. JJ is a woman, so we don't need to read the second part. So that's the approximation of the energies she really has in her chakra And that sentence is what we have in the database that is the closest to it. How compatible, how accurate is this reading? We're looking at the first parameter on the top left. It's 97%. That's unusually very high. It means that this sentence in the database is really, really close to describing the vibrational imprint in her chakra. So I'm going to ask her, does that resonate somehow for you?
Yes, it does.
So at 97%, if it doesn't resonate, we probably have the case of the person not being humble enough to recognize it, or consciously not wanting to address it, because 97 is extremely high. So doesn't matter why. JJ is a little bit too focused on her physical needs, or maybe she is in an area where she needs to ground a lot. Doesn't matter. That's her problem. And we can go into a discussion with the practitioner to contextualize this sentence and see how it resonates, what it can mean, and so on. I'm not going to do it now because we want to keep this video as short as possible. So of course, we're talking here about the physical needs. That's a reason why this energy is tainted with red. Because red is the topic of food, shelter, security, and everything that is physical. There's also some orange. So it adds an information to JJ that her minimizing her being to her physical needs is actually emotionally impacting her. Else, it would be just a red energy and would not have any orange. So she has to take into consideration that there is some emotional attachment to this situation or emotional impact. That's enough for the reading. Now we're going to see the other parameters. So the Healy doesn't just give you the approximation of the energy that is in your chakra and the color, so at what level, at what chakras it refers to. It gives you 3 parameters on the top left. The percentage of accuracy, okay? So what do I do with it? Well, if it's under 75%, it means that it's not exactly the sentence that is given. You need to understand behind the words what we're trying to tell you, because we didn't find in the database something closer to describe the real energy. So you need to do a little bit more guesswork. If it's above 85, 90%, you have less guesswork to do. It's pretty straightforward normally. Second parameter, you have a number 8. The number 8 is a scale from 1 to 10 that is representing the level of effort that the person has to furnish, has to put in from her current level of consciousness to transmute or release this energy, to harmonize this energy in her chakra. So here we have an 8. It means that for JJ in this present moment, whatever led her to minimize herself down to her physical need is going to take some inner work. It's going to take some work, because 8 on 10 is pretty high. And then the last parameter is going to have different scales. What we're going to focus on today is simply the first letter. It can be a C, it can be a D, it can be an LM. That's coming from the Roman letter numerology, and it's meaning actually the level of dilution of this energy in the chakra. So I'm going to give you the scale. When it's D, it means that it's a very dense energy, even though the D doesn't mean dense. It means that the energy in the chakra is located in the physical body, the most dense part. If it's a C, it means that the energy, C is for 100, D is for 10, so it's much more diluted, and it actually means that the energy in her chakra is located in her emotional body. So it's less dense in her being. For example, it can come from an emotional repression from some time ago, from her childhood or whatever. Then if we have LM, it will mean that the energy is very diluted, very subtle in that chakra, and it resides in the mental plane. What does that tell us? It means that if we want to transmit this energy, we work at the level where it is. So right now, this energy is in the emotional body. So it gives an indication to JJ, work with your emotions, work with crying, work with dancing, work with expressing. If it was LM, I would tell her, now it's in the mental plane, so you can work at the belief system level in reprogramming your subconscious, because that energy is just coming from a thought, an idea that is not actually aligned with your highest good. Of course, if you have a Healy resonance, which would be amazing, you can scan yourself over time and see how these parameters are evolving. So if I scan JJ in a week and she tells me, yeah, I did some work, I'm trying to understand where this comes from and to release it, we scan her on the third eye and this energy comes back again, but this time it's a level 4 instead of 8. It means she did basically half the work. Or we can see here, the level of dilution goes up to LM, which means it transmuted from the emotional body to the mental body. So it became more subtle and she released the emotional charge and now it's just at the belief system level. Or the energy disappeared and she did the work, she released it. All right. Very quickly, I'm gonna do just the next one. So here we have a violet energy, meaning it's coming from the crown. We're working in the Muladhara, so the first chakra. And then we have the reading. So I'll let JJ read. The father, man, or man in general means safety in the life of the person. It's 84%. So how does it resonate for you, JJ?
Yes, I've been working on that. Yes.
So first, thank you, JJ, for sharing this information. It's very private, and you volunteered to be the test subject for this
Yes.
meeting. So thank you.
I have nothing to hide.
Great, great.
We
So
all have our path. Yeah.
Just in general, if you're scanning in front of many people, it's better to ask the person, are you ready to share with the group this message? Because sometimes it's vulnerable, sometimes it's like touchy and sensitive. So you need to be sure that the person are ready to share that with the group. So here we have 84%. So it means it's pretty high, and normally JJ can identify how this line is connecting to something that she's working on. Then we have level 3. It means that whatever topic it is in her life right now, she can transmute it quite easily. Maybe it was a big topic before and she did a lot of work and now she got it down to 3. So it looks like she's agreeing with it.
Majorly.
So that's a message from your higher intelligence saying, good job, you did a lot of the work, you're almost there. And then we see that this energy is in the mental plane. So maybe if before it was like a trauma or an abuse, something connecting to your childhood, and now you transmuted it, it's much more subtle, it's in the mental plane. So it's telling you the rest of the work, JJ, on this topic is quite easy to do, and it's just an idea, it's just a belief system. So you work with it at the mental level. It's violet, so it's coming from the crown here, and it's, of course, in the Muladhara. So what can we interpret from the fact that it's violet, meaning that it's influenced by the crown chakra? Because that could be quite interesting, you know? It looks like it's pretty straightforward. The father, or man, or men in general, or the masculine energy means safety in the life of the person. That says, of course, without the masculine energy, the person will not feel safe. But it's violet. It's not yellow, about power and security and taking action. Violet, it means that it's something to do with the universe, God, the soul, everything that is transcending reality as the physical plane. So my interpretation, my proposition for JJ would be, open yourself to the idea that here the father or man represents a spiritual authority, like God's or whatever belief system you have. Maybe you don't feel safe without having the idea that you have some higher entities or higher deities, or the general conceptualization of Shiva as the masculine energy, you know, standing its strength from the other side. It has something to do with spirituality because it's violet right now. All right, let's move forward now. What can I do? First, that's a lot of information that is very useful for the person. And as soon as you put your consciousness on a matter, on a topic, you already start to transmute it. So just having given this reading is already starting the healing work for JJ. Now we can do a couple of things. First, I can print the PDF and send it to her because she needs to meditate on this. The choice of words and the way that the sentences are given is very important, and she can't remember that. So I will press on show PDF, it will generate the PDF, and then I will send it to her by email, which is totally normal. That's her information. I'm not going to do that right now. Instead, I'm going to do the vibrate. So what's going to happen right now is that it's going to take this energy of desired state and desired state description and rewrite this information in her information field. So it's going to overwrite the actual energy that is a blockage with the mantra or the vibrational energy of gentle and complete healing of the mother relationship issues, money, job, confidence, and home by enhancing the color red in the base chakra. The themes of the root chakra are perceived as harmonious. So that's what's going to happen. She's going to get a healing at the information level, like what we did with the resonance earlier. So I'm going to press vibrate. I'm going to ask her to be simply receptive to receiving the frequencies, the help, the support that can actually help her transmute these energies. I'm going to press start. So right now you can see it's generating the energies, emanating the energies at the information level of this sentence you can see on top of the energy that we did a reading for. Of course, we didn't read the other ones, but they are going to be included as well. This, again, is not going to do the inner work for you, unfortunately. You still have to do it yourself. However, it will provide support to help you. It will lessen the grip on this blockage. It will put the conditions to help you overcome that topic or have realizations on it. So now you can go and meditate. You can realize that when you're going to journal, some things are coming up and they're connected to these topics. It's going to support you energetically, like what the Healy always does. If you are very sensitive to energies, if you're psychic, you can feel this energy being impacting you right now. So for me, when I'm doing this, I can feel like a pull in the center of my brain towards the pineal gland. I can feel like something is pulling and putting tension. I can feel it sometimes on the side of my skull. I don't know, JJ is finished now. You can open your eyes. Are you feeling it in some way?
Yes, in my forehead, in
Good.
my crown chakra.
Depending also on the chakras we're working with, yeah, you can feel some things move there. Amazing. So of course, we're going to drink water after that so that you can have the energy flow in your body. And that concludes the chakra reading. That's amazing. So now, my Healy disconnected or I don't remember what was the information, I can actually go and retrieve it in lists. Here, I'm having the list of all the scans that I did. So the chakra scans are in pink and the resonance scans are in blue. And if I want, because I want to remember, here I can rename this reading and I can put third eye and root 22nd September. Why do I do that? Because it would be easier for me to remember what we worked on, and then I can go back, look at the reading, scan myself again, see how the energies have moved. That's pretty amazing.
Can you, Thomas, will you just click on JJ again, the pink one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go, can you go back to get the photo of the aura around her photo?
No, that's the thing. We have to take a screenshot if we want to remember the levels of each chakras. You won't be able to access it. It's not
there
recorded.
is, maybe you can just do another quick scan. There is a report we can send which shows the photo with the aura around it and gives quite a detailed report.
Amazing. So we're going to do it on myself. I'm focusing on stabilizing. All right.
Okay. See up the top there, the cloud with an arrow down?
We click on that little icon, generating a PDF.
And then there's a very faint arrow at the bottom of the screen. And if you click on that, it's going to go
Wow.
into all, very detailed report to do with your your scan.
That's amazing.
And then if you click, so you can go, there's about 5 pages.
Yeah.
And then you can go up to the little 3 dots on the top right there, and you can send this report to the client.
All right, so what we have in this report, thank you, Alice, for showing me where that is the levels of distribution of energy in all my chakras, and the interpretation of what are these chakras. So here you have the root, and then you have the psychic, emotional, spiritual affirmation that are connected with each chakra. So basically your education about each chakra. And then I can, with the button on the top right, send that report to someone. So I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Then
So
when I come back here, I click on the top right button or the analysis, and it will bring me to the view where I can select one of the chakras, and then we can go further in it. So that's super amazing. Thank you, Alice.
Yeah, so there's 2 wonderful scanning reports that we can send to our clients if we're doing it, even distance scan or in person. And then, with the resonance, we have the main PDF. So it's really three PDF files that we can send to people.
Beautiful. Is there anything else that you guys see that should be discussed in this video that we missed?
I think that's pretty much it, everything.
Right. So just one thing, if the Healy disconnects, and it does happen, why? Because Healy had to redevelop a specific protocol on Bluetooth between the Healy and the phone so that the data is extremely secured, that no one is running around on the side trying to pump the data. The bad side of that is that the Bluetooth connection can be a little bit flickering. What I advise if the Healy loses connection is to close the app instead of waiting and then open it again. That will be the fastest way that you have to reconnect, at least on my phone. It also depends on everyone's phone. All right, then we're going to stop the recording here so that we don't have a too long video.
Question.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks, JJ.
No, go ahead, Alex.
I have questions, but I think you can cut here for the short version.
Let's stop here. Thank you, everyone. We can share this video for anybody that just received a resonance and needs a little bit of understanding of what all these percentage mean and how to do scans for people or for yourself. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you, Thomas.